I love maps, and apparently you do too. My past few videos have all been about me making this very large, very detailed map of the world, and this project will take some time. So in the meantime, I will make videos like this on map related things. And so I thought it would be fun to show off my map collection. They cover quite a huge area, though I have never actually checked how large an area my maps can cover. So, determining the total area of my maps will be the goal of this video. Now, I know that most of my viewers are from the USA, so I will start by showing all the maps that I have of that region. Here I have my major map of the US. It is 74 by 108 centimeters, totaling to an area of about 0.8 square meters, which is about 8.6 square feet. This map, just like many others of this kind, is quite detailed and shows many roads, cities and more. But what if we wanted more detail? Well, I also have quite a few maps of the states themselves. Sadly, I do not have the space to lay them all out in this room at the same time. These maps, including the one of the entire USA, total an area of about 8 square meters. I'm pretty sure that I have all the states except for Alaska, which is a shame. All of these maps are from a series by National Geographic, but apparently there is another series, like this one right here, but it's not as complete as the other one. Together these have an area of about 4.2 square meters, so our total is now up to 12.3 square meters. Next up, my world maps. With these maps you will notice something interesting, and I will give you a moment to try and spot it. These maps are a bit outdated. Most of these maps are from the 80s. You can notice it from these old-timey names like Zaire, Burma and such. However, as I'm from Europe, I find the difference between then and now in Europe more striking. Nowadays, the region previously known as Yugoslavia has split up into many different countries like Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and so forth. Also, Czechia and Slovakia used to be one country. Also, somehow, a map of the United States slipped in between the maps of the world. Contrary to popular belief in the United States, the US is not the entire world. So, you might ask, why have so many outdated maps? A large amount of these maps I acquired about a decade ago at a yard sale. Someone was selling a bunch of National Geographic magazines, about 30 of them, and I got them for just $2. That was of course a great deal, and so I bought them. Once I got back in my dad's car, however, I started flicking through the magazines and realized there were still a bunch of maps in there. And I'm pretty sure that each of these maps are worth many times more than what I paid for the whole lot. It is honestly one of my best yard sale deals ever. However, not all of these maps are from that yard sale. In the case of many of these maps, I actually don't know how I got them. Anyways, here you can see my fancy maps of the ocean floors. They have this beautiful 3D look to them, and it shows how much more is going on the ocean floor. Next up, there are a bunch of maps of specific countries, including the Soviet Union, because these maps are of course from the 80s. Here are some maps of various regions, showcasing all kinds of features and interesting facts. And this one has some cool pictures of animals on it. I have never actually counted the amount of maps that I have, and now I'm faced with the fact that my collection is more extensive than I thought. I currently do not have the space for it, but I hope to have in the future. These maps deserve to see the day of light, in my opinion. Alright, this is when we arrive at my miscellaneous maps that shows very specific things, like a map about whales, not of whales, also a map of Mars and of the local group of galaxies that we find ourselves in, among other strange maps. And by the way, a while back I posted a poll to ask if you'd like to see my other map related things, and people responded very positively. The thing I want to show next is two almost 300-year-old books that have a handful of maps inside. They are titled The History of America. Of course, the United States did not exist at this point, but it refers to the continents of America. Now, this book is very dated and has a very biased perspective on the history of the indigenous people of America, but it might be interesting to take a look either way. For now, just take a look at these maps that I'm showing and yeah, have fun.